Lites competition here in the States. Final corner, Christophe Pourcel, 2 for 2 as he takes the checkered flag here in Atlanta. And Christophe Pourcel is the Supercross Lites East Coast champion for 2009. Pourcel and his Pro Circuit Kawasaki team come into Jacksonville simply looking for an encore. This is the final round of the Supercross Lites East Coast Championship, and it's set to get underway from Jacksonville, Florida, right now. Ago in Toronto, Canada, Christophe Pourcel claimed the Supercross Lites East Coast Championship for 2009. Tonight, here in Jacksonville, Florida, it's the season finale of the Monster Energy AMA Supercross Lites FIM World Championship season. Hi everybody, I'm Ralph Shaheen alongside Speed's only Supercross Series champion on our roster, Jeff Emig, of course. And this is the season finale. Christophe Pourcel already has the title in the hands. So he doesn't really have to try hard, right? No, he's a racer. He's going to go for another win, isn't he?
Well, he certainly is. Christophe Pourcel has been the fastest rider in the East. He's dominated this championship all the way through, wraps it up with 1 round to go. That's a great position. But it's some of the other riders who are trying to get their first win, like Nico Izzi on Factory Suzuki. You've got the Star Racing Yamaha guys, Lemoyne, Tickle, Durham, who have really been strong. And of course, Blake Wharton, who won the main event in St. Louis. But it's Austin Stroupe, who's second in the championship. He was second last week. He could not keep this championship going to the final round. He was very disappointed. So I think Austin Stroupe has something to prove here tonight also. But if you're a bet man, I mean, Christophe Pourcel, he really has been the fastest guy all season, and I plan on him, finishing out the season with the win.
Without question, the class of the field in the East this year. With more on the story of Christophe Pourcel, here's our Aaron Bates with another Progressive pre-race report.
Last weekend in Toronto, Christophe Pourcel captured the East Coast Supercross Lites title, and after spending 2 injury-filled seasons here in America, the Frenchman was finally able to deliver for boss Mitch Payton.
Won a world title, and we had met him before that, and we wanted him to win a world title, and then come over when he did that. So he succeeded at that. He came over, he rode a Supercross race, and he could ride Supercross good, and then just with his injury, we wanted to give him a chance to come back and see if he could do it.
And deliver he did. Now Pourcel is looking to finish off with a victory here in Jacksonville and look forward to the East-West shootout at season's end.
I got the championship already, so it's already the big goal for me. But if I can get another win, that would be awesome. And my goal is just to go to Vegas right now and try to win over there.
It was the 16th title and 99th race win for Pro Circuit. But Mitch had more important business back home in California.
I would have liked to have been there, but obviously, my wife, we had 2 twin little boys, Ty and Tanner, and so that was a big deal in my life. And she didn't get out of the hospital till Saturday, so it was the right thing to do to stay home and be with her.
Well, they did wrap up the championship for Mitch Payton, and tonight you're going to get to see their team go racing one more time here in the East as we begin our Supercross Lites coverage here on Speed. Of course, we have 2 hours of great Supercross coverage coming your way from here in Jacksonville, because right after the Lites, the Supercross class, Chad Reed, James Stewart still battling for that title, coming right up. But it's all about Christophe Pourcel at this stage here in the Supercross Lites East Coast Championship. He's claimed the title. Can he get one more victory before the East Coast season is history and gets put away in the books? Stay with us. Heat number 1 is coming up. Beautiful shot of downtown Jacksonville area. A lot of water around this city and around this stadium. And inside Jacksonville Municipal Stadium, home of the Jacksonville Jaguars, is where you'll find the finale of the Monster Energy AMA Supercross Lites East Coast Championship.
Well, and there certainly was plenty of water inside the stadium earlier this week. We had 10 inches of rain on Wednesday and Thursday, so real fortunate that we get to have this event.
Yeah, there was a lot of water here earlier this week, and then things got beautiful weather-wise, and we're set to go racing. And Nico Izzi, Jeff, you can see it, a couple of heat wins, an LCQ win, but no main event win.
No main event win, but he is digging deep.
30-second board is up. Getting closer to the start of heat number 1.
Very competitive heat, Ralph. We got Stroupe, Hahn, Izzi, Jesseman in here. It's pretty hungry cats out there.
Yeah, and Gerke too. Matt Gerke's put together a few good runs this year. There's Austin Stroupe. He's looking for one more win. Here's our Yamaha starting grid scrolling across the top of the screen.
See if he can get that 5th heat race win here and start out the final race on a good note.
Tight first corner. And it goes to Stroupe for the whole shot, but then he quickly falls back to 3rd. And it looks like Hahn jumps into the early lead here, Jeff.
Wil Hahn on the Muscle Milk MDK KTM. Out there, really had the inside line.
Stroupe came right back to take 2nd back away. So he's chasing Hahn now.
And it's Wil Hahn here in this last couple of rounds where he really has improved his speed. His heats have been, or his starts have been excellent, and definitely showing some speed. He's another rider out there could possibly get up there. If this heat goes the way he wants it to and gets that good start in the main, he can have a win also. But we got to do this heat race first to get there.
He's won 1 heat race already this year, Wil Hahn, and he has not finished better than 5th in the main event, which he did twice back-to-back at Daytona and New Orleans.
Yeah, he really was
look
on
at
a roll
Stroupe
there.
Look at Stroupe come through there, Jeff, really with a lot of speed.
See Hahn to the inside. Now watch Stroupe. He's going to double. He's going to do a double-double single.
And make the move. Taking the lead away is Stroupe.
And that was the positioning at the end of that second. Excuse me, the end of that section. Here's Hahn to the inside.
Well, he came right back after him, didn't he?
He was being nice though, Ralph. Right? These guys have a little bit of experience now. Okay, if they were a first-year guy, for sure he would have just totally taken him out.
Showed him the wheel and then jumped on the brakes and didn't get into it. Nico Izzi, Jeff, just struggling here. Watch this in the number 20.
He's on the yellow bike here. Jumps off to the side of the track, cleanly makes it back onto the track. I'm telling you, once you hit that concrete, it's like ice out there. But here's the pass for the lead as Stroupe gets to the inside of Wil Hahn. Takes the position nice and clean.
Yeah, but then Stroupe had his problems. Look at this. He goes down and he almost gets hit by Steve Clark on the 77. And now Stroupe can't get it going either. So he goes from the lead to out of a transfer spot and maybe looking at a trip to the LCQ.
This is the second turn area. There's the hole shot sign at the top, and he actually triples. And as he goes into that final jump, just totally collapses the suspension and gets the weight to the top or the outside of the bike. Watch it here. See, he triples in and goes too far. Not sure if he was trying to jump all 4, but he definitely didn't. He made about 3.5. Yeah. That's where the mistake was. Really unfortunate because he is smoking here tonight.
Well, as you can see, he's got that Monster Energy Pro Circuit Kawasaki going again, but he's a long ways behind this man, Wil Hahn, who is going for his 2nd heat race win of the year. And now it looks like Stroupe is staring at a trip to the last chance qualifier unless he can really get going here.
Wow, and you talk about flying out front. I mean, Wil Hahn is gone, and it's Izzi that we're taking a look at. He's actually, after being off the track, he's up to 2nd, but he is a good 10 seconds behind our leader, Wil Hahn, already. But look at the battle here of Steve Clark.
Tyler Wharton is in there.
Steve Clark in that Suzuki City bike. Spoke to him earlier. He says he just gets more comfortable with each and every round. He's happy with his equipment, putting out a great effort. There's no doubt here that this season Steve Clark has really arrived, and he's opened up the eyes of a lot of the team managers and team owners.
And Stroupe has slipped all the way back to 12th, Jeff, just to keep you in up to date as to where he is. So he's got to get to 9th. Remember, the top 9 transfer, and that are the riders in green.
Right now, Kyle Gills has got that final one, but take a look at this replay here. Stroupe gets to the inside, Jesseman, it looks like, and
Yep,
it looks
on
like
the 74.
Keelan
Yeah,
trying to
Keelan,
get to the
130.
inside, and he just gets sandwiched in there. That is definitely going to stop his momentum to try to get up into the top 9.
Yeah, but he stays in 12th for now.
It's a
He's got a ways to go.
Yeah, short heat races here, 6 laps. Everything happens really quick.
2 laps remaining in this one, and then it'll be on to the last chance qualifier. And even if he wins that, a terrible gate pick for the main tonight.
Yeah, that's Gerke just in front of Stroupe here. Gerke 34 there.
That would be for 11th.
He's actually the teammate of Steve Clark, so the Suzuki City guys trying to get them both in the main in one race, but they're both going to need a little something extra as Gerke really battling with Roman and Gills here.
Well, here's Wil Hahn on his way to maybe that second heat race win of the year. Now, these guys are not done racing Supercross. Even after the end of the season finale here tonight, they will have a couple of weeks off while we finish up the West Coast Championship in Seattle and Salt Lake City, and then we'll go to Vegas, where we'll have the East-West Showdown.
This is going to be a real confidence booster here for Wil Hahn.
Checkered flag for Wil Hahn as he takes his second heat race win of 2009. And let's see what happens to Stroupe. He looks like he's up to about 10th.
This could be it.
That would, I think that's going to go. Oh, no, he loses one just as he picks one up. Loses one to Gerke. This is going to go all the way to the line.
Let's see Stroupe to the inside. This may be for the final position.
And he's going to come up short. No, he just gets 9th. Gills got 10th. Gerke actually took 8th. And Stroupe just sneaks into the main. We'll be back with Heat 2 after this. On speed, don't miss AMA Pro Prime Time, where some of the world's fastest motorcycles tempt the track on speed. Catch all the two-wheeled excitement from Road Atlanta. AMA Pro Prime Time, Saturday night, 11 Eastern, only on Speed. Show you the results from heat number 1 of the Lites East. And Nico Izzi, even with all of his issues out there, he makes it into the main event. Tyler Wharton's going on. And so is Austin Stroupe, who just sneaks in. And we go down to Aaron.
Wil Hahn capitalized on Austin Stroupe's mistake out there, but Will's second heat race win for you this season. What does this do for your confidence being the last race of the East Coast Light Series?
It means a lot, you know. My team's been behind me 100%. I feel great tonight. Last 2 weekends have been great for me qualifying, and I'm riding great. I just haven't put it together the first couple laps in the first 10 feet out of the gate, and today, just now, I did that, and proves that I can be up here when I get a start. And unfortunately, Stroupe went down, but hey, I mean, I'm riding good, and I feel good. I'm ready to go for the main.
Well, there you see the next 30-second board up in the air. Which means the Heat 2 riders are getting ready to go. 9 more transferring on to the main event. Everybody's going to be dealing with the now reigning champion on the East, Christophe Pourcel.
Well, he really has been a standout this year. He's won a lot of races. He's been really fast. He went through that illness where he got a 4th and a 5th. Backed it up with a win in Toronto to clinch the championship, and I'm sure he wants to do it one more time here.
Bit of a long gate. This one gets underway, and it goes to Matt Lemoyne for the whole shot, but Pourcel's your leader.
As Lemoyne gets dropped back to 5th here after really getting into the first turn. Good, and you can see that's Blake Wharton on the GEICO Honda running in 2nd. You got Durham. Couple other,
Pourcel trying to break away from the field. He was the fastest rider all day today, Jeff, in practice qualifying. Just a ton of momentum behind the French rider right now.
Well, he
stalled it, Jeff. That's going to take all that momentum right out from underneath Pourcel.
and that's going to hand the lead over to Blake Wharton. Darren Durham on the Star Racing Yamaha, he's up there. Vince Breezy. A whole bunch of these guys here, Tickle, a whole bunch of these guys are actually trained by my old teammate Ryan Hughes, put them through the ringer. So now, at the end of the season, these guys are really starting to come around.
Well, let's go back and show you what happened at Lemoyne first.
Watch him here, 41 on the Star Racing Yamaha. Gets in there really high. Not quite sure who that was that took him just a little bit high, and he lays it down. And then watch our leader here. Just slams into, that's not really a bull burn, that's kind of a wall burn. He really slides in there with too much rear brake, stalls the engine, gives up the lead, and you don't want to give up the lead to Blake Wharton because this rookie knows how to take it all the way to the checkered flag.
And we saw what happened with Stroupe in heat number 1. And he barely snuck into the main event. And remember, the top 9 are what transfer. Those are the names in green. And it looks like Pourcel is back at about 10th for now. So he's only going to need one spot to get back into a transfer position.
And look at the lead that Wharton and Durham are stretching out over Tickle. This is Pourcel right through the first turn area. He came across the stripe in 10th. He needs one position to be in the main event.
Jeff Durham has not won a heat race, and his best finish in a main was a 6th at New Orleans. Of course, Blake Wharton won the main event at St. Louis, and he also has a heat race win. So that youngster getting a lot of experience quickly this year.
Well, I think both of these young riders have, and we're looking at a veteran of the sport here. Christophe Pourcel, former world motocross champion in the lights division. They call it MX2. Came over here with a lot of expectations. Got injured his first go-around here when he was getting a taste of Supercross a few years ago. Went back, suffered some injuries. Wasn't sure if he was even ever going to race again. Mitch Payton gave another opportunity and has definitely, proved to everybody that he is one of the top, if not the top, lights racer in the world.
If he could get around Teddy Parks right now, the 247, that would put him in 9th.
Well, he's been in 10th for, since he went down. Yeah. Teddy Parks is usually a guy that Pourcel is going to fly by. Okay, so Pourcel right now, maybe in a little bit of a tentative position. Maybe the track here is shaping up to be a little bit one line. But just to put it into perspective, Pourcel, he was our fastest qualifier, and Parks was 36th fastest. So quite a bit of difference there. About a 6-second lap time difference in qualifying, but yet Pourcel just can't seem to get it together.
Well, with Parks going down, that'll put him into 9th now, and Pourcel is into a transfer spot. And how about this? The Monster Energy Pro Circuit guys, Jeff, are both just going to squeak into the main event, with Stroupe just getting in from 9th, and with 2 to go, Pourcel's in 9th.
Well, the good thing about it, the team owner, Mitch Payton, he's back, well, he'll be back in the truck. He likes to crack the pro circuit whip, get these guys motivated for the main event. Now,
they got the championship locked up. Now Mitch is going to try to get him focused on getting the last win here before he turns his attention to getting that West Coast championship too. And it looks like Pourcel now is quickly moving himself up a couple of spots, up to about 7th, as we continue to watch the 719 of Freezy here, who sits in 4th.
That's Daniel Blair. He's riding a GEICO Honda just behind there.
Final lap. White flag is out. Wharton going for his 2nd heat race win of the year.
Freezy riding the Moto Concepts Honda. Blair riding that GEICO Power Sports Honda. They've won some championships, won some races. So you'd have to think that maybe they got a little bit better equipment, but Freezy definitely showing that the Moto Concept team this year, who really have made an impact, they can hold their own, and they've got something good going on there also.
They have really stepped their game up as this year has progressed, and that is definitely becoming a very strong operation.
So here we go, one turn to go.
Wharton making his way to the checkered flag, and the 2nd heat race win of the year for Blake Wharton comes in Jacksonville. Wharton will now start focusing on the main event and trying to get his 2nd win of his career. We'll be back with more from Jacksonville.
On Drag Race High, the
Jacksonville, Florida becomes the 5th city in the Sunshine State to host Supercross, joining Daytona, Miami, Tampa, and Orlando. Show you the results from heat number 2, the 9 other riders that have transferred on, and Pourcel did climb his way up a little bit. got himself up to 6th, so better K-pick than his teammate. Blake Wharton takes his second heat race win. Brock Tickle, a nice ride to 3rd, and we go right to Aaron.
Blake Wharton got himself so excited about that heat race win that he actually even took an extra victory lap, not even knowing that he had won the race. Blake, was that extra victory lap just to get yourself prepared for tonight's main event?
Might as well get as many laps as you can out there. Actually, they gave me the white flag, and I just kept going. Didn't want to pull off and do something dumb, but one extra lap, it was good. My team was great at GEICO Power Sports. My mechanic, Jeremy, my mom and dad, my family back home, and my brother, he's here riding. I'd like to thank God for letting me out be here and having a great race. And Unbound, Shoei Fox, and all of them, thanks.
Let's take a look at the highlights of the last chance qualifier here for the Lites East Coast Series.
And off the start, it was Kyle Gills grabbing it, and then Saylor takes it around the second turn.
Jacob Saylor in blue, issues here, but rides through it.
Jesseman's gonna come out with the lead. That's what you need in the LCQ, but watch this ride for Gills.
Wow.
Off the track, makes a right when he needed to make a left. LCQ is done.
Oh, and Saylor almost gets taken out here in the final few corners, but Jesseman takes the win, and Saylor will join him in the main. Every week here in our Supercross Light shows, we like to take you inside the helmet, introduce you to one of the riders up close. So we call our VIP Pit Pass. This week, Brock Tickle.
Brock Tickle, number 43, Division 7 Star Racing Yamaha. If I had a stage name, it'd be Tickle Me Elmo. One talent I wish I had would be to snowboard. My favorite movie would be Step Brothers, definitely. Brad Pitt would be my favorite actor. When I'm at the airport, what I do to waste time is either listen to my iPod or talk to my friends or my girlfriend. My most embarrassing moment would definitely be last year at High Point. I crashed and ripped my pants right off of me, and I was walking around and just hanging out. One thing I'd want to eat every day would definitely be pizza, but it's not part of my diet. Definitely not. I do not find myself getting in trouble ever. I'm Brock Tickle, and this is your VIP Pit Pass.
Well, there's a lot of racing left to go, and the Toyota's moving forward schedule lays it all out there for you. We're headed off to Seattle after a week off during the Easter break, and then in Salt Lake City and Las Vegas to wrap up the championship season. If you want to get some tickets to come out to the races, go to www.supercrossonline.com. And a special guest joining us here in the booth in Jacksonville, Tallahassee, Florida native, Ricky Carmichael, the greatest of all time. The GOAT is here with us, and great to have you with us once again, Ricky. Some great racing going on here in the lights class on the East. Now, Christophe Pourcel has wrapped up the championship for Mitch Payton, the guy you raced for, won titles for. What do you like about Christophe outside the fact he's a champion, obviously?
Well, I like how he's able to put laps together, lap after lap after lap, solid. He don't get all caught up in the hype, and I think that's why he won the championship. You know, he just let the race come to him. That's what impresses me about him. He's not very flashy. He just lap after lap, very disciplined.
You've had the chance to race for Mitch Payton. Why is he so good at getting these guys into championships?
Well, I believe he just, he has great equipment and he works hard. Always testing, always wanting to improve, and he wants to win. He does not like anything less than winning.
All right, well, we'll get ready for the main event here, Jeff. The two Pro Circuit team riders have not had good runs in the heat races tonight. Do you think they can get Mitch one more win here in the East?
Well, sure they can, but if I'm one of the other riders like Izzi and, like we said, the Star Racing guys, maybe Wil Hahn, I'm thinking, this is the night. These guys are off their game. I'm going to take advantage of this by getting the hole shot and trying to get away. You never know. That's why we race all 8 races.
Well, that main event is getting ready to start here in Jacksonville. Stay with us right here on Speed, the home of the Light Series. We'll be right back to the main from Jacksonville.
Rebellion has a new attitude with the all-new American Thunder.
This is the start of the new generation.
Join me, Colby Donaldson, and my co-hosts Charity Hodges and Alana Grace as we take the V-Twin culture by storm.
Because I am motorcycle bound.
Exposing the gritty scene of the modern biker.
Skateboarding, motorcycling, having fun.
Immersing you in the true cruiser lifestyle. It's an all-new American Thunder. Wednesday nights, 8 p.m. Eastern, only on Speed.
Many have done V8s get around the same mile.
There's 2 rounds left of the Monster Energy AMA Supercross Lites West Coast Championship, and it gets back underway in 2 weeks at Quest Field in Seattle. And you can see round 7, April 19th at 11 a.m. right here on Speed.
Welcome back to Jacksonville. Look who I found, the number 10 of Ryan Dungey, your current West Coast Lites point leader, but leading by a small margin of 2 points. It's been a long hiatus. Ryan, talk about the anticipation heading into Seattle.
I'm definitely really looking forward to get back at it. We've had a long break and had some downtime, got to have some fun, and been working hard to carry it over to outdoors. So it's all ready to get back to the fight and carry over the momentum.
Speaking of working hard, you've been training a lot with Ricky Carmichael. How much that helped you out going into these last final rounds?
Training with Ricky has been awesome. You know, he's been helping me a lot at the track, and he really knows his stuff. As you know, it's the greatest of all time. But it's been fun. You know, really enjoy working with him, and can't say enough stuff about him.
Just a few more weeks, and the hunt for the championship is back on.
Great to see Ryan Dungey here in attendance as we get ready for the main event. Jeff, let's take a quick look at the track layout here.
No doubt about it. First trip to Jacksonville. It's a very tight track. There's a lot of turns. We've seen some parts of the track where the soil is really good and the ruts form up. There's lots of traction, but we've also seen some other spots that were really slippery. I do think we're going to have a track that the riders can be very aggressive on for the main.
Riders are at the line, getting set, the final East Coast race of the year.
Who's it going to be?
Well,
Yeah,
you think those pro circuit guys can get back on the game? What would Mitch Payton have said to them in between?
Well, he obviously wants to win. I know he's got little ones at home, but I think Christophe Pourcel might have something else in mind other than going out and winning this last Supercross. I'm sure he's got what he wanted. He probably wants the outdoor championship now.
20 riders are in the gate for the 15-lap race. Wil Hahn, Blake Wharton, the heat winners. Boy, usually we would have seen at least one pro circuit guy as a heat winner.
I'm telling you, Wil Hahn's on that start. He's saying he can get it. If he gets the whole shot, he can take it all the way to the checkered flag. Boy, would that be a big jump for him. But this is one of those nights, you know, you just never know. Take a look at Jacob Saylor, way out here on the outside. You got Scuba Steve Clark way on the inside, and a lot of talent in between.
Progressive starting lineup scrolling across the top of the screen as we get ready to go.
I think I'm going to have to go with Wil Hahn tonight as a surprise.
All right,
that's my pick. That's my pick.
Lots of talent. Nico Izzi needs a win. So does Austin Stroupe.
Hahn hasn't finished better than 5th. Here we go from Jacksonville.
Oh, look at Izzi with the holy.
Izzi gets the whole shot, but your guy Hahn goes right to the front, Ricky.
It's looking pretty good right now. Too bad we got 15 more laps to go.
Well, that's Steve Clark. He's second. Vince Freeze, looks like he got around inside the top 3. Who's it going to be? Yes. Vince Freeze has been on the gas.
Boy, they're all stacking up deeper in the field. Freeze battling with Clark. Clark right there on that number 77 Suzuki, the yellow bike. Putting on a lot of pressure in the early going.
Well, the track workers have worked on the track. They've got it smoothed out in some of the spots, fixed the corners like right here.
Track looks primo right now, man.
Really good. And who's that creeping up? Fourth place across the stripe. Pourcel.
The first of the pro circuit guys is Clark. Tries to get inside of Freeze, and Pourcel is right there now to make that a 3-rider battle for second place. Meanwhile, Hahn has opened a 1.5 gap between him and these 3.
Man, you know Wil Hahn. Oh, look, Wil Hahn just went onto the tabletop. Is he the only lights guy that has done that?
Only rider that has done that. So he's really letting it all hang out here, and he's going to need to because there goes Pourcel.
Taking advantage of a mistake by Clark, and then by Freeze, who seems to have stalled the bike, and Pourcel takes both positions away and moves himself quickly to second. So now, Nico Izzi also sliding up a few. You see the number 20 looming.
Watch this replay here. This is
Vince Freezy right here. It comes across the start. Something happens to the bike, and he knows right away there's a problem with it. It's lost all the power.
Wow,
Heartbreaking,
unfortunate.
22nd.
And Wil Hahn is having a good run, but not so much for Freezy, Aaron.
Definitely not. What an upsetting moment. Vince, you're having probably the best run of the season. What exactly took place?
In second place, doing really good, and I felt awesome tonight, and just my motor locked up, and you know, it's not good, but oh well, I'll be back for outdoors.
Not the way he wanted to finish up this season, but he'll be back for the East-West Shootout.
That'll be in Las Vegas. You'll see that race here on Speed. Meanwhile, Wil Hahn has a heat race win tonight, his second heat race win of the year, and he's looking for his best finish of the year. He had 2 fifth-place finishes, one in Daytona, one in New Orleans, and he's looking to go to the top step of the podium.
Well, and the biggest problem that Wil Hahn has now is number 377, Christophe Pourcel, 53.5. Wil Hahn was at 54.1, so that's over half a second a lap that Christophe picked up.
Ricky, he always said that Mitch Payton likes to crack the whip on the guys in the pro circuit trailer if they're not performing to his level. How harsh would he get with you guys?
He would be pretty harsh. I mean, actually, take that back. Not too harsh, just to the point. He is there to win races. When you've been riding for him, you know, for over a year in your second year, there isn't too many room for mistakes. You learn that your first year, and you get over it. But I'm telling you right now, Wil Hahn, his savior right now is jumping on that tabletop. He pulls away so much that Pourcel catches in the rest of the track, and he pulls back almost like a rubber band effect. So that could be his Achilles heel to try to get his first win, maybe.
Yeah, well, we'll see how this plays down. Let's take a look at this replay of Austin Stroupe as he makes his way past Wharton. Just really hammers the throttle, gets the inside. Watch, Wharton tries to shut him down, Ricky, but no.
Stiff arms him and pushes Wharton to the outside, and he's gone.
Stroupe is running in 8th place right now after barely sneaking in to the main event through his heat race. As we go back to the front, that's where you find Hahn on that Muscle Milk MDK KTM.
Really putting together some great laps. Pourcel's been a little bit quicker, but Wil Hahn really holding his own. And let's, you know, as this thing starts to wear down, we're only on lap 5 of 15, okay? Put the same scenario, we're on lap 13, Ricky. The nerves are going to get to him.
Oh,
right?
Absolutely. You know, he is in a new spot right now. He knows he's riding good tonight. He knows he's got the champ behind him, and this is his last shot. So he has to make it happen tonight. So he's got everything working against him.
And this would be the first win for KTM in the lights class this year. A lot of pressure there if he can pull this off.
Well, watch what he's doing right here. He's tripling up on. That's a good half a second to a second faster. And you see how he gapped Pourcel right there. Pourcel's been a little bit quicker on the rest of the track.
Yep.
But actually, last lap around, they were only separated. Pourcel was 1/10 of a second faster. So Wil Hahn really holding his own right now. It's still pretty early. There's a lot of racing left.
Yeah, and look at Nico Izzi back there. He's in third, a quiet third, but I mean, it looks to me that like he might be catching him. You can kind of see him on the screen. You'll see him poke in there a little bit. And look at the lap times. Nico Izzi was faster last time, and look at the lap times. 53.9 for Izzi against everyone else's 54s.
There's Nico right there, who finished 11th in Toronto a week ago, and I spent some time chatting with him at the airport after the race in the Rogers Center, and he was frustrated with that, but what a way to bounce back as he runs in third right now. This would be, he's been on the podium every round so far outside of New Orleans and Toronto.
And just out of the top of your screen, as Ralph was giving us those stats, Christophe Pourcel tripled up onto that tabletop. So what Ricky was talking about, that advantage that Hahn had, Pourcel has picked up on it. Lap time wise, Izzi is there. Then it's followed by those Star Racing Yamaha guys of Tickle, Durham, Stroupe, and then Lemoyne right there. So Star Racing's got 3 of their guys in the top 7, and everybody really is moving forward. This race is tightening up.
Absolutely. This is no gimme right here. I mean, this is some good stuff. We get Nico Izzi in there. We'll have a 3-way battle, and that's another guy that hasn't won.
Well, and look at the top of your screen right here. That blue bike following the yellow bike of Izzi is Tickle, who got that podium last week.
Tickle is is right there. I mean,
Well, he's
in
had a lot
everything
of
in one.
momentum.
I'll tell you, if those two guys, Tickle and Izzi, starts doing that triple onto the tabletop, I think they reel those two guys up in front of them.
Yeah, they're absolutely flying on the rest of the track. That's at least a half a second right there.
No doubt.
And Pourcel, though, he's been very patient, okay? Like you said, he lets the race come to him. That's exactly what he's doing now. Now look what's happening. Wil Hahn has slowed down just a little bit.
And he knows that, Pourcel knows that he has this. When I talked earlier about letting it come to him, that's what he's doing right now. He's not forcing the issue. He's just going to let it come and make the move when it's right.
And the pressure could be as if Tickle and Izzi, they're at the top of your screen. If they start to close up, if Wil Hahn slows down here and that slows Pourcel down, those guys close up, then the urgency is going to be there for Pourcel to really make it happen.
Pourcel wasn't able to do the on the tabletop, and look how much he gets gapped when he doesn't do that. I think Wil Hahn's line there too before the mechanics there is a little better. You guys can see Wil Hahn is like hitting his rear wheel on the tip of that big one. We call them roof peak jumps because they look like a roof peak. And he's making, basically turning 3 jumps into one, where Pourcel does 2 jumps. Here we go.
There it is. There comes Pourcel. Tries to get to the inside. Can't complete the pass there over the finish line jump. He forces it wide at the next corner. And the 2009 Supercross Lites East Coast champion is now your race leader. Ricky, he's probably going to run one more year in the lights class here in the States. Christophe Pourcel.
Yep. I think that'd be smart.
I was just going to ask you that. Okay, and then after that, he's pretty much going to be forced to move up to the Supercross class.
Well, here's the replay for the lead. You see Hahn just get really twisted up there, loses all the drive over the finish line. And really, Pourcel has that one all the way. That was just pressure.
So Wil Hahn now, can he mount a charge back? See if he can get that first win. Pourcel back out in front in Jacksonville. Welcome back to Jacksonville Municipal Stadium, home of the NFL's Jacksonville Jaguars. The season finale for the Supercross Lites East Coast Championship. That is Christophe Pourcel, who is leading here with 4 laps to go in the main event. And Brock Tickle on the number 43 seems to be having some issues. He was charging up through the field. And let's see what happened to the number 43 rider here, battling with Izzi.
Watch this. Tickle absolutely goes for it. He gets inside, and Izzi does not back up. He leaned into the inside, said, you're going to have to. Watch Izzi. He just uses his weight, just gets right in there. Tickle high sides. Really aggressive move for Tickle, but man, he's going for it. That means that he's feeling it.
Absolutely. I can't believe, I got to give it kudos to Izzi, man. That's tough to lean on some guy like that, man. That was a heck of a move right there. Look at this guy, man. The champ just on it.
Let's go back and take a look at the progressive hole shot replay and show you how this one got underway as the gate dropped.
Well, and it's all about sticking to the inside here. As you can see, Hahn here gets way on the brakes, and he keeps it tight right through there, okay? He doesn't get the whole shot award, but around that second turn, it was Hahn that took the lead.
He hit that triple, he was in the lead, like you said, and that's what counts.
Yeah.
Ricky, we talked about how Pourcel's going to have to do one more season in the lights class, but then it'll be on to Supercross. What do you like about his riding style that makes you believe that he could potentially be a champion in the Supercross class as well?
Well, I like how he, I really like how he duplicates good laps, and he has patience. That is one thing Jeff can tell you, you have to have in the Supercross. You have to let it come to you. You force those things, and they will come back to bite you. There's no doubt about it.
Fight for fourth here on the screen as we watch Durham and Stroupe having at it. Stroupe, of course, Pourcel's teammate. Not been a very good night for Stroupe. He's trying to bounce back. He gets inside of Durham and takes over fourth. That'll help improve things, and maybe he could get to the podium. That'd be a great way to finish off the season.
Well, that'd be a great ride for Austin Stroupe. First lap around, he was 11. He was outside of the top 10. And that's kind of where he's been all night, was trying to work his way through the pack.
But he's going to have to catch Izzi to take over third. One to go, and he is about 2 seconds behind Izzi right now in that fight for third.
What an exclamation point for this guy right here on the screen. To win the championship, could have laid down, just got whatever place, but he wants to go out with a bang.
Okay, now he's got to think about Vegas in that East-West matchup. How's he going to do out there against Dungey and Weimer and some of those guys?
Well, I don't know. We've seen what Dungey did last year.
I think it's going to match up really good. I do think that Pourcel, he really is the cream of the crop here. But that race in Vegas, the East-West shootout, it's always there for that wild card also. The guy that didn't win the championship.
And he hasn't been on a racetrack where it's been that slick, too, as it is in Vegas, correct? And checkered flag falls, and for the 4th time this year, Christophe Pourcel lights the candles over the finish line jump to take another win. And the champion closes out the season in spectacular fashion. His teammate, however, Jeff, that's a big moment.
This is Nico Izzi on the left of your screen on the Suzuki. Bike loses drive. Way short.
Oh, my gosh.
And Stroupe almost landed on top of the bike. And Izzi limps off the racetrack. We'll be right back to talk to the champ who has won another one here in Jacksonville. Stay with us on Speed. Get up, get up, get up. Fans having a good time. First time Supercross has been here to Jacksonville. Enthusiastic bunch turned out to enjoy the show. Here's our unofficial results. This one comes to an end. Austin Stroupe fights his way and gets a lucky break with a huge crash from Nico Izzi at the very end. What looked like a terrible night ends up positive for him. And let's go down to Aaron.
Just because he won the championship last weekend doesn't mean that he didn't give it everything that he got here tonight. Christophe, you were not going to give up whatsoever. What does this mean to finish off the season with yet one more win?
I mean, that time I was just really happy after the finish line. I would say, whoa! I was really crazy in my helmet, but you know, all the team worked good behind me, and you know, my Kawasaki was awesome, all my sponsors, Terminal Velocity, everybody, you know, that's awesome.
Congratulations on the sweet smell of success one more time.
Well, the next thing he's going to be trying to get success-wise is when we get out to Vegas, that East-West showdown. Boy, that's going to be good. And you'll see it right here on Speed, that first Saturday in May from Sam Boyd Stadium. Final points. The Monster Energy Pro Circuit guys take 1 and 2 in the points chase in the East. Pourcel over Stroupe by 33. Nico Izzi by 1 point over Blake Wharton. And Wil Hahn takes 5th over Branden Jesseman by 1. We go back to him.
What a way to finish up the season for Wil Hahn, making his way up to the podium. What a perfect night for you. What does this mean to you to end the season the way you did?
I mean, it means the world to me. I've been working my butt off this whole time, and the team never gave up on me, and we worked so hard to get it. I mean, it sucks it's the last round, but better late than never, you know what I mean? And I'm stoked to be here. I can't thank my team enough. Danny, Brent, Leighton, Toad, the truck driver, Larry, he couldn't do it without his food. Everybody on my team, my trainer, Sandy, R-Fed, Cash Money, and AG at home, thanks you guys. My mom and dad, too. I love you guys.
Congratulations on a job well done.
Hey, race fans, be sure to check out the weekly Grid Girl photo galleries every week at SpeedTV.com. Just click on the camera icon to see the weekend's latest action, only on SpeedTV.com. Back to Aaron we go.
Well, a little bit of a gift was handed to Austin Stroupe during this final race when Nico Izzi had gone down and crashed. Nico, this is how you end up the season. You're back up here on the podium. What was your thoughts coming into tonight?
So far, I felt good from last weekend. You know, I thought I rode hard, but the track was pretty technical. I had to back it off in the heat race, and it's kind of hard to pass. I just waited for somebody to make a mistake, and like 3 guys crashed on the last lap. But the hats off to Nico. I hope he feels better, but just got to give it up to my team: Parts Unlimited, Thor, Maxima, Bridgestone, Scott, Vans, Monster Energy Pro Circuit, mom and dad, my trainer.
Congratulations once again on a tremendous effort.
Let's take one more look at what happened to Nico. Any idea here, guys?
Man,
Ricky?
I don't know.
I mean, maybe coming across the start, like he said, he downshifted in first gear. The bike will not make that 72-foot triple in first gear. So
no, it's a shame. Just he had a good, solid podium finish, good ending of the series, and if something's going to happen, it always happens at the worst time.
It's a strong ride though tonight.
Yeah.
The Asterisk medical crew right there to assist him, and great care and attention from the guys at the Ascris crew. Well, Jeff, the East Coast Series is over. Christophe Pourcel is a champ. Now we go back to the West, Seattle for round 7. You'll see it April 19th, 10 a.m. here on Speed.
Well, and that West Coast Championship is heated up. 2 rounds to go. Jake Weimer, Ryan Dungey going at it. Who's going to win it?
Wow, it's going to be great. And of course, in the East and West will get together in Vegas. We'll be there for that. Supercross is coming up next. What will happen between Reed and Stewart? For Aaron Bates and Jeff Emig, I'm Ralph Shaheen. So long from Jacksonville. Congratulations, Christophe Pourcel.